Usually it starts with a CEO or the founder in this way, right? And then it develops as people are coming to the company and so on and so on.
I think hiring HR very early is a very smart move, and making sure it's a really stable team to support the growth. Because if you set the groundwork early, you can really sustain hyper growth much more easily. If you just don't and start going with hyper growth, it's fine, but you're going to end up paying for it later down the line, which I believe is more costly, both emotionally and stress-wise and financially for the company. So the HR really needs to focus on onboarding very early, making sure there's a really firm 90-day onboarding plan that people can do autonomously almost and remotely. So like kind of a checklist thing that they can collaborate on and make sure that they're really up to speed, making sure people don't need to be operational too early on so that the pressure is low if possible. Making sure that people get to meet people in the leadership team in the first 90 days, that they have objectives so that the HR would need to really have a firm structure on how objectives are set and given and documented and evaluated. So if that's there even from day one, then people are pretty good to go. Those are the things I think to focus on in the very beginning. And then next comes process, so that process is easy and scalable, because you can start out with, oh, sure, you can just email me if you need to have a sick leave. But at some point, you can't have 500 people emailing you their sick leaves. It doesn't scale and you can't talk to all of them at once. So you have to put in some kind of a ticketing system, make sure you have documentation on every kind of process possible. Everything should be documented, and people should be able to find almost all their answers alone without asking for help. Those, I think, are the first most important steps that are often skipped.
Yeah, and especially now when we live in these hybrid systems and work in hybrid systems, then people can work from all around the globe. Even if they're in the same country, they don't need to be in the office.
Right.
And there are some that needs to come to the office as well. So you need to make sure that both sides are kind of like set.